You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
We are keeping a close eye on a tropical threat that has caused a tropical storm watch to be issued in 3 states. We'll look at what areas are expected to be impacted.
And if you're headed out on the roads this Labor Day, Florida Highway Patrol, they're going to be out as well, keeping those roads safe for you.
And an Amber Alert continues this morning for a 2-year-old Pinellas County toddler. We'll tell you how it all began Saturday night after his mother accepted a ride with a stranger. Good Morning Suncoast resumes right now. Welcome back, second hour now. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Our John Scalzi's got his eye on some potential wet weather later on this afternoon again.
Yeah, it sure looks like it on this Labor Day weekend. It looks like we're going to have some fairly good storminess around, especially in the second half of the day with a little daytime heating. Rain chance today is high, coming in around 70, maybe 80%. And the storms that pass by will be fast movers all around the circulation of the eventually, I think, Tropical Storm Gordon. Certainly right now it's classified as a potential tropical storm, and tropical storm warnings have been issued for the northern Gulf Coast. Nothing for us. We do not have any tropical storm watches or warnings up for our area. So that's good news. The system is on a forecast track that carries it very closely to the forecast that we had for you last week. Not much is changing in that regard. What we will see here locally are some downpours of rainfall, maybe some gusty winds, slightest little potential that some of the storms could become severe, and certainly some breezy conditions along the coastline, but that's it. Looks like the heaviest of the rain will be located down to the south. The tropical storm warnings are now out in open waters of the Gulf and also along the coastline of the northern Gulf Coast. For us, we have some tropical storm warnings about 20 to 60 nautical miles offshore, but closer to shore we do have a small craft advisory because it's going to get choppy out there. So best to stay in port today on this pretty important boating day. This area in dark green is the zone where there's a slight risk of severe weather, particularly fast spin-up, short-lived, weak tornadoes. That's a possibility, particularly in southern part of the state and particularly along the east coast, but we are also included in that area of concern. So we'll keep an eye out for it. And as I mentioned, a great day to have your First Alert weather app. All the computer models remain in good agreement of the system moving out into the open waters of the Gulf and eventually the northern Gulf Coast. We'll talk more about the effect on us later in the afternoon, coming up in just a few.
All right, thank you, John. Talk to you soon. Starting to see some minor congestion right now. If you look at State Road 64 by the interstate, you'll see a little red on either side of the interstate. Nothing major so far. State Road 70 westbound as cars there approach 301. Checking farther south. Now here's the scene in northern Sarasota County. Just some minor congestion as you cross over Fruitville on 301. Nothing major so far. And then our final map to the south. All clear at 6:02 on your Monday morning. Speaking of traffic, the search is on for a hit-and-run driver who left a man to die on State Road 64 in eastern Manatee County. This happened early Sunday morning about 5:40 a.m. near the Lake Manatee State Park about a mile east of Dam Road. Police say 33-year-old Paul McComb of Bradenton was standing next to his broken-down car when an eastbound car came along, hit him, and left the scene. The victim was pronounced dead at the site. If by any chance you witness this, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen, 866-634-TIPS.
Well, police are investigating a drowning near several homes in Newtown, taping off an area near Coconut Avenue and 23rd Street early on Sunday. Police say someone walking nearby spotted an unconscious man around 8 o'clock Sunday morning in a creek behind some of those homes. They called 911. Police still haven't released the identity of that victim.
An Amber Alert remains in effect this morning for a 2-year-old boy from Largo after his mother said they accepted a ride with a stranger who later knocked her out and left with her son. Now, this is a picture of 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue. His mother said she woke up in a wooded area. They were gone. Investigators believe that Jordan might be with a man in his mid-20s who said his name was Antoine. He has brown dreadlocks and gold teeth and last seen driving a white Toyota Camry.
Closer to home, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help this morning locating a missing teen. 14-year-old Lauren Hildebrand was last seen around 8 o'clock on Saturday night when she left her house to walk to the University Town Center Mall. Her parents say she never returned home. She was last seen wearing jean shorts, a black hoodie, a floral blue tank top, and white Vans shoes.
Turning now to the latest on the red tide situation, beach conditions may be improving. Mote marine scientists report some slight respiratory irritation and some dead fish at Manatee and Coquina beaches. Here's some video shot yesterday on northern Casey Key. In Sarasota County, the same conditions reported at Lido, Siesta, and Venice beaches. While there is some dead fish at the North Venice Jetty and Nokomis, Mote is not reporting any respiratory irritation on those beaches.
And speaking of red tide, some underwater video has been getting a lot of attention online, showing the algae's apparent effect beneath the surface. ABC 7's Erica Jackson spoke with the cinematographer over the weekend.
I wanted to go to see what the bottom of the Gulf looked like.
Cinematographer Kurt Bowen knows red tide is killing marine life, but wanted a different perspective.
Was there a big hit? Was there a lot of fish? Wasn't there a lot of fish?
His scuba gear and camera took him deep into Sarasota Bay. While Mote marine scientists were counting scallops, Bowen was counting live fish.
Basically, I found nothing. That's what the problem was.
Then he traveled into the Gulf, making 4 stops off Anna Maria Island and Longboat Key. The first site about a mile off Holmes Beach.
Everything was dead, all the way from shellfish, crabs, fish, plants. Even the crabs were trying to get out of the water. They were climbing all the way to the very top of whatever they could get to just try and get out of the water.
Further offshore, things started to improve. There was better visibility and more life.
There was probably a small fish kill at 7 miles compared to the 100% kill at 1 mile.
Bowen plans to make more dives throughout the year, hoping clarity and sea life will return by next summer.
We're going to keep going back out to see how do they improve.
Reporting in Sarasota and Manatee counties, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Now, you, of course, can find all of our red tide coverage, including answers to some of your most asked questions. Just head online to mysuncoast.com. On Sunday, Senator John McCain was buried in Annapolis next to his lifelong best friend following days of public ceremonies honoring his life. Reporter Andrew Spencer has a look at Sunday's funeral at the U.S. Naval Academy.
U.S. Senator and retired naval officer John McCain was buried Sunday afternoon, laid to rest next to his Naval Academy classmate and lifelong friend, Admiral Chuck Larson. Cindy McCain saying goodbye to her husband of the last 38 years. The final ceremony for John McCain was held inside a chapel at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, with hundreds of midshipmen attending the service, along with close friends and members of John McCain's family, including his 106-year-old mother, Roberta. After the ceremony, pallbearers carried the casket to a caisson waiting outside, and the body was taken to a burial site on the grounds of the Academy's 7-acre cemetery, with around 500 midshipmen lining the route. In honor of the former pilot, Navy jets executed a missing man formation above the cemetery. Speaking to cadets last October, McCain said he had a complicated relationship with the Naval Academy, joking about the extra duty that he earned when he broke the rules. But he told them that over the years he came to appreciate the lessons he learned there about courage, humility, and sacrifice. I'm Andrew Spencer, reporting.
And here is a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning. All is quiet there, but lots of tributes going on over the weekend for McCain. Past presidents spoke, his wife spoke, his daughter spoke, all giving some very moving speeches remembering the former senator.
And just a reminder, a number of closures today in honor of Labor Day. Students are off in Sarasota and Manatee counties. For a full list of all the holiday closures, go to our website at mysuncoast.com. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
A tropical storm watch this morning for the Florida-Alabama border all the way to Louisiana. We're going to take a look at that when we come back.
It is 6:08 right now on this holiday Monday morning. Pretty quiet out there on the roads. Here's a live look from our roving camera right now at the intersection of 301 and 41. That's the spot where 301 begins and heads north for a long time. That is right on the southern border of downtown Sarasota. As far as today's situation outside, there's the tower camera. And let's get to John Scalzi now for a preview of our holiday.
Yeah, nice shot there, right? Looks pretty quiet out there right now, but later on in the day, certainly that will change. We'll have about a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms. First alert weather day because of breezy conditions, but more particularly because of some of the heavy downpours that might be possible, leading to some ponding on roadways, as well as the small potential for severe weather. We'll talk about that in just a second.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid. Your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
75 degrees as you head out the door, and pretty quiet out there right now, actually. We have an east wind blowing lightly at about 7 and 100% relative humidity. It feels kind of sticky out there. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch our rain chances kind of rapidly increase as the heating of the day begins, and the storm system down to our south becomes maybe a little better organized, moves a little bit closer to the Florida Straits. We'll see about a 70% chance of some fast-moving storms a little bit later in the day, with the main threat being potentially some heavy downpours of rain, as well as the small potential of some severe weather contained within some of those storms. That is a very small potential, but it exists. First Alert weather apps on your cell phones would be necessary today to give you those alerts should they come out. We're watching kind of a disorganized system down to the south. It's still undergoing a lot of shearing, so it hasn't been actually classified as a tropical depression or a tropical storm, not even close to a tropical storm yet, but it is a potential tropical system, and the reason they name it a potential tropical system is so they can issue some watches and warnings for areas that need to be warned in the eventuality that it does become a tropical system, which it's likely to do. So we have some showers over on the other coast, some of them producing some pretty heavy rainfall. Not a whole lot in our neck of the woods yet, but you can see just how fast these systems are moving, you know. So over the course of the last hour, they're crossing a good section of territory. They're running at about 30 miles an hour, some of them. So they will be moving into our area by about lunchtime and producing some fairly heavy pockets of rainfall as well. Now, I don't think we'll see the kind of heavy rain that they're going to see in South Florida where there are flood watches up. But the fact is, if we get some good downpours of rain, we could see some ponding on roadways. The other thing is these are fast-moving storms, so the likelihood of heavy rainfall producing flooding conditions in our area is small. Potential tropical cyclone 7 has 30-mile-an-hour winds right now, has no defined center of circulation, but likely it will. Hurricane Hunter aircraft are going out there to check it out. It never gets close to the coastline of Florida, and so there are no watches or warnings, tropical watches or warnings up for our area. By Tuesday, it most likely becomes a tropical storm. This will be early in the morning, and then it moves off toward the northern Gulf waters and probably makes landfall somewhere around the Louisiana Delta region. For us, the biggest threat, of course, as I mentioned, is going to be the rainfall. And there are pockets possibly of 2-inch rainfalls over the next 24 hours with this system as it moves onshore. But the heaviest of the rain is going to be down to the south. That's where the flood watches are in effect. The system becomes a tropical storm, but its wind speeds are such that we don't get anything close to tropical storm force winds here along our coastline, but maybe out in Gulf waters you might. So a tropical storm warning has been issued for waters offshore. And so it's obviously not a good day for boating. There's also a small craft advisory up for our near-shore waters. Choppy conditions expected with 2 to 4 foot seas eventually. So we wouldn't want to be out there on the waters today. The system makes landfall as a tropical storm most likely up around the Louisiana Delta region on Wednesday. Our futurecast shows those scattered storms moving in as early as lunchtime, and some of them containing some pretty good heavy downpours of rain. It's a possibility that some of these could produce water spouts. It's a possibility we'll have frequent lightning, some heavy downpours of rain, and maybe over land an isolated brief tornado can't be ruled out. That chance, about 2%. It's the lowest category of probability that the Severe Storm Prediction Center issues. But still, can't neglect it, and so we will keep an eye on that for you throughout the day. East wind coming in at about 20 knots, and the forecast on this first alert weather day, because of the potential of some of those heavier storms in the afternoon during a very big day for outside recreating and coming back home from vacation. 70% chance of showers tomorrow, about an 80% chance of lingering storms decreasing in the afternoon, and then over the course of the week ahead, our rain chances return to about average, 50% for this time of year, as temperatures get a little bit warmer. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. We'll take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. Manatee County still pretty quiet out there this morning. It's a little slowdown on 301 in Bradenton, but other than that, not too bad out there this morning. If you're headed into Sarasota, most of those roads are also pretty quiet out there this morning. No real bumps or delays. And a little bit farther south in the area, both 75 and 41 are also looking good on this Labor Day weekend. It is 6:17. That's your first alert traffic. And now over to that tropical threat for portions of the Gulf and severe weather for much of the rest of the country.
ABC's Candace Gibson is tracking it all.
This morning, a weather threat looming off Florida's coast. A system that'll likely become a tropical storm is taking shape and heading toward the Gulf of Mexico. The fast-moving storm is gaining strength, and forecasters fear people could get caught off guard.
Need everybody to let their friends know because folks are on vacation and they just don't know this is happening.
Meantime, on the East Coast, more rain. Up to 5 inches in Maryland led to multiple water rescues. In Hartford, outside Baltimore, crews suspended the search overnight for a missing woman. 34-year-old Melissa Lehu and her boyfriend were helping a stranded driver when rushing water swept her away.
It pushed her legs under the guardrail a little bit, and her head was below the water. I grabbed her hand and was trying to pull her up, and she was just gone within like a second.
The body of the driver the couple was trying to help was discovered. Rescuers say the conditions are too dangerous to continue the search for Lehu. In the heartland, relentless heavy rains and high winds This ominous supercell thunderstorm spotted rotating along the horizon in Kalamazoo, Michigan. In Kansas, dangerous driving conditions as high winds gusting up to 65 miles an hour kick up dust and nearly blind this driver. The storm's wreaking havoc on college football's opening week, delaying games across the country. A fan sharing these dramatic images of the sky lighting up above the stadium in Nebraska, forcing the Huskers to cancel their first game of the season. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
The father of a murdered Iowa college student does not want his daughter's death used as part of a political debate about immigration. We'll hear from him coming up. Plus, Marla.
And this Labor Day, more Florida Highway Patrol troopers will be out on the lookout for anyone who might not be paying attention to the roads or might be suspected of drunk driving this Labor Day. What they say you can do to help is coming up straight ahead at 6:30.
It is 6:20 right now. A live shot outside our studios looking south at the downtown Sarasota skyline. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically, and I don't know what we would have done without that.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life, and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, let's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information, and be involved. Don't ignore the signs. Join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley, and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
When ABC 7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks. In ICU, he went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
And welcome back. 6:23 right now, getting bright out there already.
It is, starting to see that. Oh, look, the kitchen light is on, even on this Labor Day morning. We'd like to say Milani's still up, hanging out with Barron in the kitchen.
He's off of school today.
Oh, he is?
That's right.
Now they want to keep to a schedule.
Listen to you.
Oh, we create an entire life out there at the White House for them.
That's the top right corner. We're talking about that light on. Stephanie did some research. Yeah. That's actually a kitchen right there.
Yeah. So just make it up as we go along.
Barron, turn the light off.
Right. Save the electricity, folks.
Welcome back. It is 6:23 on this Labor Day, Monday morning.
Well, happening today, the unofficial end of summer, but also a major shopping day for some of the best deals and steals out there. All weekend long, including today, you've been able to save on appliances, furniture, even airline flights. Mattress companies are also offering up to 60% off. Hotels.com, they've got a 40% off special. And if you're a Sprint customer, it's a great time to upgrade your phone as well. You can snag a discount of 50% off select phones there. Now, if you're looking for a new wardrobe, because yes, summer clothes are where the deals are. And here in Florida, where it's, summer all year long, this really works for us. It's a win-win in that case.
Other consumer news, it's going to cost you a little more to check bags now on United Airlines. The airline raised prices on the first bag. It'll be now $30, up from $25. The second bag will cost you $40, up from $35. They want to increase the overall customer experience by raising the bag fees.
It's better be a really good experience that I'm getting.
Counterintuitive. I want to increase my experience, keep the bag prices low.
I'm just going to put everything in my purse. It'll be fine. Well, switching gears a little bit, the father of murdered college student Molly Tibbetts is now speaking out.
As ABC's Janae Norman tells us, he doesn't want his daughter's death politicized by the immigration debate.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the father of Molly Tibbetts, the Iowa college student found dead weeks after going out for a jog, is putting partisan politics on blast. In a scathing op-ed in the Des Moines Register, Rob Tibbetts asked that the death of his daughter, who was allegedly murdered by an undocumented immigrant, not be used to promote various political agendas or advance a cause she vehemently opposed. Writing at her eulogy, I said Molly was nobody's victim, nor is she a pawn in others' debate. His comments a rebuttal to Donald Trump Jr.'s own opinion piece in the same publication, arguing that Democrats had a heartless and despicable response to Molly's murder, writing, they are seemingly more concerned with protecting their radical open borders agenda than the lives of innocent Americans. And we'll have more on Rob Tibbetts' response coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin in relief from symptoms caused by over 200 allergens, like those from Buddy. Because stuffed animals are clearly no substitute for real ones. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
Whatever their sensitive skin gets into, get it out with All Free Clear. Only All is the #1 recommended brand by dermatologists and 100% free of perfumes and dyes. Now try All Free Clear Odor Relief. Attacks odors, gentle on skin.
All right, I brought in new Max Protein.
To give you the protein you need, with less of the sugar you don't. I'll take that.
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. New Ensure Max Protein and 2 great flavors.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
40 Carats Family Center and the Community Foundation of Sarasota County present a free speaker event, Unselfie. Why empathetic kids succeed in our all about me world, featuring parenting educator and author Michelle Borba at Riverview High School on Tuesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. Help children become successful, moral, courageous, and resilient. RSVP required at 40carats.org. That's FORTY carats.org.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
We are keeping an eye on a weather system that's caused a tropical storm warning to be issued in 3 states.
If you're planning to go fishing this Labor Day, just a heads up, Florida Fish and Wildlife are enforcing catch and release rules due to red tide.
And if you're going to be out on the roads this Labor Day, so are state troopers. We're going to tell you the warnings that they have out for this holiday weekend. We have those stories plus your holiday forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning to you on this Monday morning, Labor Day. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. John Scalzi has details now of a weather system moving across the peninsula from Miami and heading, toward Fort Myers right now, John?
A little further away from Fort Myers, out in the open waters of the Gulf, but on the same latitude. We're watching the system slowly evolve and take shape, although its evolution is slow because upper level winds right now are not all that conducive. But certainly we can see some spin ongoing, and hurricane recon aircraft will be out there today to check it out. It's moving on a course that probably will take it across the Florida Straits and then exit it out into the open waters of the Gulf, where it will stay. It is not going to directly impact land with any tropical system in the state of Florida. It don't have any tropical watches or warnings up for our area. Its main impact is going to be to inject more moisture into our region and enhance our rainfall chances, as well as the possibility of some severe weather as well. Tropical watches and warnings across the United States are focused really on the northern Gulf Coast. We have a tropical storm warning up for our offshore waters, but closer to shore, we are looking at a small craft advisory that's been hoisted. And that's true throughout the day today. So if you're a mariner thinking about going out there in the waters today, I'd rethink that. Now, the winds are going to pick up pretty quickly as we move through lunchtime into the afternoon, and it's going to be really kind of hazardous boating out there. We're looking also at this area in dark green here as a area that has been signified or identified by the Severe Storm Prediction Center as the possible location of severe thunderstorms a little later on this afternoon. It includes a lot of South Florida and a little sliver of our area as well, particularly along the coastline. Water spouts, brief, short-lived, weak tornadoes, a possibility with some of the storms later in the afternoon. All the computer models continue to agree that this system moves away from the state of Florida, and that's why we don't have any watches or warnings issued for our area. They're all north of us. We'll have the complete forecast on the impacts of the thing on our weather coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. There's the roads right now. Should be a much lighter commute on this holiday Monday. There's the scene in Manatee County. Not much to report there. Farther south, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. Still nothing in the red. And then farther south, we'll check out the South County map. So far, so good, although there is one little red spot there. If you look at the 681 connector between Nokomis, 41 there, and 75. Just some early congestion there as you cross over Honore. Otherwise, all clear at 6:33.
Well, speaking of those roads, today may be Labor Day, but state troopers are not taking the day off.
Now, they're still working, probably getting time and a half as well.
Yes.
Marla Spence has a preview for us. She's live at the 41-301 split just south of downtown Sarasota. Marla?
Good morning, guys, and happy Labor Day. As people plan to enjoy their holiday, Florida Highway Patrol troopers will be out in numbers throughout the state as well locally. They will be keeping their eyes close to the roads as well as drivers. Now, they've been out since Friday, keeping a close eye on those drivers and the roads to make sure people are following road rules, and they will still be out today. Now, we're told troopers will be on the lookout specifically for drunk drivers. Lieutenant Greg Bueno with the Florida Highway Patrol tells us troopers tend to see an increase in drivers making bad decisions like drunk driving during holidays like Labor Day. He tells us many times it's a result of people going to parties and not having a game plan on how exactly they're going to get home. Lieutenant Bueno also says before you plan to go anywhere or plan to drink, to have a plan in place on how you're going to get home, whether it's taking an Uber, a taxi, or staying at your current location until you sober up.
The last thing that we want someone to do is trying to convince themselves at a party or at a barbecue after they're consuming alcohol that they're okay to drive.
And should you see a driver that you suspect to be drunk, Lieutenant Greg Bueno says to dial star FHP, and that call will be directed straight to a dispatch center and a trooper will be sent out to the scene. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Don't forget now, governments and schools and banks are all closed today in honor of Labor Day. For a complete list of the holiday closures, check out our website at mysuncoast.com.
Well, for those wondering if red tide is still a problem on local beaches this Labor Day, we checked Molten Marine's latest report, and the answer is actually promising. In Manatee County, tested beaches there are only reporting slight respiratory irritation and little to no dead fish. Then in Sarasota County, the results are even better, with Nokomis Beach and the North Jetty reporting no irritation and no fish kills.
Among the hundreds of tons of fish killed off the Suncoast, some protected species. So now state wildlife officials are enforcing some new rules. They're enforcing catch and release policies for both species from Anna Maria to Collier County, which has altered some Labor Day fishing plans. Snook season opened over the weekend, but for the first time, local charter captains didn't have much business. They agree with the catch and release program, though.
That's an important species for us because we're really known for them, and they're really great eating fish when they're open.
Less fishing meant less boaters. In fact, the parking lot at the 10th Street boat ramp was nearly empty on Saturday afternoon.
And you, of course, can find all of our red tide coverage, including links to find the current red tide levels and answers to some of your most asked questions online at mysuncoast.com.
And now to the confirmation hearing set to begin this week for Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Despite attempts to delay his nomination for the U.S. Supreme Court, hearings will begin tomorrow on Capitol Hill. ABC's Emily Raw has this preview.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh will go before the Senate Judiciary Committee starting on Tuesday, answering a wide range of questions about abortion, executive power, and his time in the George W. Bush White House.
This is not normal.
Senator Amy Klobuchar appearing on NBC's Meet the Press, echoing demands from Senate Democrats for more information and documents from Kavanaugh's time in the Bush White House.
We are not able to see 100,000 documents that the archivist has just, because the administration has said we can't see them.
But Republicans dismissing those concerns.
Democrats have more than enough information to understand that this is a highly qualified jurist.
Others in the Senate minority also suggesting the president chose Kavanaugh because of his views on executive power.
He chose the one person that has written that he should have immunity from any investigation and from any kind of prosecution that might result.
Democrats are expected to press the nominee to recuse himself from any cases that involve investigations against President Trump.
Should he recuse himself?
Listen, totally depends on the case.
Cases involving President Trump.
And I'm sure Judge Kavanaugh will follow the guidelines and recuse himself in cases where he should.
Judge Kavanaugh has done intense mock hearings to prepare for this week. Sources tell ABC News he is not expected to offer any sort of commitment to recuse himself from cases that might involve investigations of President Trump. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Now for the latest on these hearings as well as breaking news, plus your up-to-the-minute first alert forecast, just download our free ABC 7 app.
And here is a live look right now at the Capitol. Tomorrow, of course, as we just said, hearings begin for Brett Kavanaugh to be discussed for his future in the U.S. Supreme Court.
That is right. And here's a local look right now. Coming up ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Google is not planning to appear before Congress this week. Why? Well, we'll tell you when we come back. But first,
it is 6:38 right now on your Labor Day Monday morning, and many places here on the Suncoast will be closed. Fun fact, first Labor Day was observed September 5th, 1882 in New York City, described as the working man's holiday. And we understand that. It's a working man's holiday for us right now, John Scalzi.
Indeed it is. Yeah, that cloud cover you saw on tower cam there off in the distance, that'll become the name of the game as we head into the afternoon. There'll be a lot more of that around, and a good chance of rain showers starting as early as noontime. It's a first alert weather day because as we head into the later part of the afternoon, showers and thunderstorms will become more numerous, some of the rainfall heavy, and there's a slight potential for severe weather. We'll talk about the forecast in a second.
Don't hide it. We know that sometimes emotions just get the better of you, especially at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. And we know getting a deal on the Honda Civic, a 2018 KBB.com Best Buy, can be quite liberating, especially when this stylish Honda Civic comes with Sport Mode.
Yes! Yes!
Express what you're feeling at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
I'm happy you're happy.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Civic today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Francis Collier and Angela V. Shelton, they're taking America by storm. This comedy duo decided to call themselves Frangela. They're the host of a new kind of daytime talk that's all about you. Meet Time with Frangela. Premieres September 10th.
Oh, he sounds cute. My friend is single.
Meet Time.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 75-degree air temperature, a dew point of 75, 100% relative humidity. It feels sticky out there, but the winds aren't too bad. East-northeast coming in at about 7. We do have some stronger winds aloft, and it's bringing some storms our way by the lunchtime hour. By then, we'll have about a 30% chance of rainfall. As we head into the later afternoon, our rain chance spikes up to about 70%. Fast-moving storms dropping lots of rainfall, could be potentially heavy rainfall, leading to some temporary ponding on some roadways possibly. The good news is Becky Mayaka phoned in, and she's gone 2 days without any rainfall at her house. I went 1 day over the weekend without any rainfall at our house. So there was a little brief window there where we got to dry out some, and some of the area rivers got to discharge some of the water into the Gulf. So we're looking at potentially a slightly better situation than we were on Friday in terms of today's potentially heavy rainfall. We'll see how it plays out, though. But the rainfall threat continues on into the evening, and in addition to the chance of some heavy downpours of rain, there's also the possibility with these fast-moving storms around tropical circulations that we could see a brief spin-up of a tornado or water spout out in the Gulf. So we'll watch for that as well. It would be a weak tornado, it will be short-lived, and the threat is mostly for areas of South Florida. So you can see around the circulation, the broad circulation, ill-defined circulation of this system, showers coming at us from the north and from the east. Some of these showers producing some fairly heavy rainfall in South Florida right now, where, by the way, there is a flood watch up. If you look at the projections for rainfall, it's certainly South Florida that has the biggest risk of any kind of flooding rain. They could get 4 or 5 inch rainfalls there. I think in our area, we'll probably see more like anywhere between ½ inch rainfalls to maybe 1.5 inch rainfalls in locations. Some of the area rivers are still at bank full and will remain there through the week. Excuse me. Especially areas like Peace River and Mayaca River, Manatee River. Potential cyclone number 7, 30-mile-an-hour winds currently forecast to move into the open waters of the Gulf, possibly becoming a tropical storm Gordon as early as early morning tomorrow, about 2 in the morning, and then head off toward Louisiana Delta region. It is not going to directly impact the state of Florida with tropical storm force winds, and there are no tropical storm watches or warnings up for our area. But we will see some good rainfall around. That's mainly the effect of this storm system, is some enhanced rainfall chances. We could see, as I mentioned, some pretty good downpours of rain as these storms move across the area. The good news is they're fast-moving storms, so the total amount of rainfall perhaps not that great, just torrential downbursts, bursts of rainfall possible in the afternoon. So a few scattered showers around, lingering into tomorrow actually, and then things start to lighten up quite a bit. But there will be potential for some pretty good downpours. As I mentioned, pockets is what we will see of those heavy downpours of rain. Otherwise, the heaviest of the rain located well down to the south. So we're looking at a bad boating day, no doubt about that. We're looking at choppy conditions out there, east wind coming in at about 20 on our area waters, so not good, and gusts even higher than that. Best to stay in port. First alert weather day because of those storms that we might see a little bit later on this afternoon. Tomorrow about an 80% chance, and then we'll trend those rain chances down as we head into the remainder of the week, returning to more average summertime weather with daytime highs in the low 90s and rain chances at 50%. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic. A few more hot spots out there now. 41 is running a little bit slow as it goes near State Road 70 right there in Manatee County. Then in Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad just yet. No real delays anywhere in that area. And then a little bit farther south, both 75 and 41 are still pretty clear so far this morning. 646, that's your first alert traffic.
New details this morning on Google's plan to not send any high-level executives to testify this week on Capitol Hill. This Wednesday, the Senate Intelligence Committee will talk about the integrity of the upcoming midterm elections. Twitter will send their CEO, Facebook will send their COO, but Google is sending a lower-level representative. Senators are threatening to keep an empty chair for Google.
And the confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is expected to begin tomorrow morning. The conservative judge will be introduced in the Senate by GOP Senator Rob Portman of Ohio and former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. The hearing is expected to last until Thursday or Friday. Kavanaugh, of course, was nominated by President Trump to replace retired Justice Anthony Kennedy. He needs just 50 Senate votes to be confirmed.
Looking ahead, U.S.-Canada trade talks are set to resume this week. The two sides are working now on a revamped version of the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA. Canada's top trade negotiator says she is optimistic both countries can reach a deal. Still ahead, your top 7 headlines before 7 a.m.
And of course, that includes one last look at your holiday forecast and why new research says it's not exactly bad if your kids lie. We will explain this strange statement, and it's coming up next.
Now you tell me. They used that 50 years ago. There's a live look right now at our live roaming camera at 3:01 and 41 on this Labor Day morning. And now here is a shot outside our studios, looking over at the Ringling Causeway, about 15 years old. Ritz on the left, Renaissance on the right.
All right, thank you, Google Maps, known as Ray Collins.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. To use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Francis Collier and Angela V. Shelton, they're taking America by storm. This comedy duo decided to call themselves Frangela. They're the host of a new kind of daytime talk that's all about you. Me Time with Frangela. Premieres September 10th.
Oh, he sounds cute. My friend is single. Me time.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
Happened to go for a nice bike ride through downtown Sarasota yesterday morning, and I brought along my camera. Uploaded about 8 pictures of beautiful downtown Sarasota. If you go to my Facebook page there, Ray Collins ABC 7, check them out.
All right, sounds good. You can also check out John Scalzi and I both. We also have Facebook pages. ABC 7 is a thing, and also don't forget to check out our Instagram page as well. All the latest news you know behind the scenes. And coming up this morning on Good Morning America, there's a new study out that shows a spike in the number of kids diagnosed with ADHD, what parents should be looking out for. And it is 6:51. Here is your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's First Alert weather forecast.
So, clearly, everything revolves around a tropical system down to our south and what its impact will have on our weather. Well, the good news is that this tropical system stays well offshore of the state of Florida, certainly the west coast of Florida. And so its impact on us is really kind of peripheral. We'll see showers being pushed in, moisture being pushed into the Suncoast by the circulation around the system, and we could get some gusty afternoon showers and thunderstorms. In addition to that, some of the thunderstorms could produce some heavy rainfall, but they'll be fast-moving storms, so the likelihood of the heavy rainfall is perhaps not all that great. The severe thunderstorm potential, that's a possibility. About a 2% risk, according to the Storm Prediction Center, of seeing some storms that produce either water spouts or brief, short-lived tornadoes. So we'll watch for that too, particularly in the second half of the day. It's a great day to have your First Alert weather app along with you. Back to you.
Good idea. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. You won't see much problem today. It's a holiday after all. The schools are closed and government offices are closed as well. There's the current scene right now in Manatee County, and we'll just peek into the northern half also of Sarasota County. All clear at 6:53 on this Labor Day morning.
And number 3 on this Labor Day, state troopers will be out in force on the roads. The goal to crack down on drunk drivers and keep you safe this holiday.
Number 4, lightning is suspected in this house fire over the weekend that gutted a mobile home in Englewood. Wow, damage there. Luckily, the couple who lives there was not home at the time of the fire.
Number 5, Florida Fish and Wildlife has put in a temporary order that both snook and redfish are catch and release right now due to all the red tide in the area. Now that order is going to run through September 26th.
Number 6 now, 5 Manatee High School students are off to the Far East for a competition. They're going to Singapore with their small model of a race car. They're going to compete against 51 teams from 23 countries. Way to go, local kids.
Very well done. And number 7, what's trending? Well, some new research from the University of Toronto that's found that it's not such a bad thing if your child lies. Now, they tested these 2 groups of kids playing a game of hide and seek. One group was told that if they lied or tricked the grown-up playing with them, they got a treat. Then they tested the kids that did decide to lie and found out they have higher cognitive skills than the other kids. Now, another interesting side note, the research found, how early would you think that kids learn to lie? What
I heard
age?
you say.
Oh, fine, both cheaters.
If I didn't know better, I would say 12.
That's what I thought later, but actually this research found that kids have the ability to lie as early as 2 years old. And what they think is that when they use their brains to lie, they're sort of creating an alternate reality, and so they have higher cognitive skills.
What do you got to lie about at 2 years old?
I know, right? Treats. I want pizza.
No,
I want treats.
I never had any treat. I don't even know what a treat is.
Yeah, no, I didn't eat the cupcakes out of the fridge.
All of your face, that's right.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have a big system down to our south.
And that is no lie.
That is no lie. Could become Tropical Storm Gordon a little bit later on. That's a possibility as well. So we'll continue watching for that. The biggest threat for this, and again, it's important to remember, there are no tropical storm watches or warnings up for our area. Its biggest impact will be on the amount of rainfall that we see today. I think we'll see frequent showers around through the afternoon. Could be kind of a washout later this afternoon with those storms moving past. And marine interests. It is probably not a good idea to go boating today. You're going to see 2 to 4 foot seas building in the afternoon. Gusts could be as high as 30 knots, and some of the gusts particularly a little offshore. So if you can stay in port, that's the wise thing to do until this whole system passes. And it will be out of here in just a couple of days, so we won't have to worry about that. Slight chance of severe weather later this afternoon. That's a possibility. About a 2% chance of perhaps a brief tornado. We know about those here in Florida, as well as water spout activity as well. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. And First Alert Weather app is the way to go today.
That's right. Enable those notifications so you can get all the weather alerts.
Thank you for watching Good Morning Suncoast. Don't go away. Good Morning America is straight ahead.